So today is the 100-mile review of the TANNUS Armour, and so far it has held up. I haven't had any problems with it. So I've been riding around, and the streets where I ride, they're not the best. So far, no flats of any kind. So the things to consider when you buy an armor is that it's not as easy as, let's say, a Tuffy liner. It's a little bit tougher to put on because you have to make sure that the walls inside the tire are so smooth before you place the inner tube. So you have to make sure that the inside is not bulging, and that could take a while. So the TANNUS is not bulletproof. Of course, you have a very nice wall protection, but anything longer than 2 inches long will penetrate and will give you a flat. So if you want something more or less bulletproof, you're going to have to put some liquid tire protection if you want to double up on the protection. That way, in case something big does go through, you'll still have like some liquid to plug that hole. So the only test that I haven't done, for obvious reasons, is rain. I haven't ridden this over some water, so I don't know if they'll work well when it rains. But I never do ride my electric anything in the rain. So if you have a regular bicycle, you might want to try that. So far so good on the TANNUS Armour. It does make your wheel a bit heavier, and that might be an issue for some people, but I think that's worth it though. It's worth it because it'll keep you from getting a flat in the middle of the road, and changing a flat on an e-bike with a hub motor is no fun. So if you ever get a flat with this type of e-bike, especially a juice bike, the City Scrambler, it's 80 pounds. So if you're small like me, you'll have to turn this upside down to get to the wheels. And that will not be easy because of its weight and size. Not only that, but the back wheel, you have to disconnect the motor And you have to not only take off the nuts that's holding the axle, but there's also a screw and some washers. That you have to keep, and if you lose those, you won't be able to put back your wheel. So I decided to buy this for my e-bike. I didn't buy it for the mid-drive because the mid-drive is less than 50 pounds and the back wheel's not connected to anything. It's like a regular bicycle, so that I could just take off like a regular bicycle and change the flat tire without having to carry or do extra things before taking off or after putting on the wheel. So if you're still nervous about just riding your e-bike with a TANNUS Armour and you think you're gonna be riding on some, industrial part of town, then you might want to double up with some slime or something of that nature. I mean, you won't be 100%, but pretty close. I just don't like slime because it's messy when it does happen, and I don't know how it would be with a motor. If you need a TANNUS Armour, they're in stock right now. When I wanted to buy mine wasn't in stock, so I had to buy it from a bike shop because it kept on telling me that they were out of stock for the longest time. So if you need one right now, go for it before they run out. But do remember that they're expensive, but in my book, they're actually worth it. It sure beats having to call someone to come and pick you up, because a used city scrambler will not be allowed on the city bus, and I don't think an Uber rider will give you a ride with it either. So the only option that you really have, it's a friend that could come and pick you up. So your best bet is to buy a TANNUS Armour. And be safe on the road. And know that this is not bulletproof. So you can't just go off-roading thinking that you may not get a flat at all. However, if you do get a flat, the instructions say that you are able to ride your bicycle at a very low speeds, even with the flat, and you will not mess up your rim. I haven't done that, so I really cannot tell you if that is the case or not. So the best thing to do is to avoid getting a flat in the first place. So as always, ride responsibly, wear a helmet, and I will see you on the next one. Wow, there's a lot of police activity this morning. I wonder what happened. Usually don't see that many cops around. I don't know what's going on. So like at least 3 cops. So tip of the day, if you see a cop around, don't call attention to yourself and try to slow down and act responsibly. Act as if. That's always good practice. And you might think that might not stop you, but you never know.